Shalom, Israel. I'm Captain LeBron, Israelite School of Youth Camp and Commander General Yohana, inviting all black Native Indians out to the 6th annual Fire Weekend.
Shalom, Israel. Come to the Fire Weekend, man, in Chicago. Midwest Fire Weekend, you know how we get down. July 21st to the 24th, we're going to be in Chicago.
Under the Midwest Mosque in itself, captain of 13,000 Northwalk.
July 21st, we got 12 children of Muhammad with the scripture breakdown class, followed by Captain Tagariyat and Captain Katazal with Cross the Line Radio.
You know what I'm saying? We got the Bantu Festival coming back. We got the election coming. We're going to kick off the election with Captain Ash, Captain Katazal, and Kazak Yad. It's going to be called Fort Columbus Camp.
On the 24th of July, we're going to be doing the Black and Brown Unity Cookout. Shalom, Israel, to all my blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. From July 21st through the 24th, we're going to be holding the Midwest Fire Weekend. On July 21st, we hold a scripture breakdown with none other than 12 Shield General Muhammad from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., followed by Cross the Line Radio. On July 22nd, we're going to be having camp on the Magnificent Mile from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And guess what? Commanding General Yohana will be speaking at 3 p.m. We're going to be located at 401 North Michigan Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. After that, we're going to have the Before Columbus Came lecture from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Located on 9909 Roosevelt Road, Suite 100. On July 23rd, you can catch us at the Bantu Festival from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. We're going to be located at 1130 Midway Place Science Park, Chicago, Illinois. And then last but not least, we're going to be having the Black and Brown Unity Cookout from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. located at Douglas Park, 1200 West 12th Flag. For more information, call 708-299-5821. Again, 708-299-5821. Also, if you would like to help out and support this troop and brotherhood, go to the Midwest Fire Weekend Black and Brown GoFundMe account and make a generous donation.
According to God, the white man is the devil.
See, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white ass, need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that little bygone be. Boy, ask you to stop and ask you to prop. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed he up for parole because of the COVID. It feel like the hoes in this world that don't go together. Nowhere is gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Yeah, see the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the props. You know, like we all come together. Cause you know, they say God so loved the world. God so loved the world to know. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop it, and she the problem. With step, I'm solid for show. For the fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go, let's go. I ain't taking no loss, ain't no talking when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just pay with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell him we can't keep it slate. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high, your baby pants through the fire. Ain't she the prophets? That baby soul belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Therefore, a failure, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Push your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop it, and she the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop it, and she the give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
See, y'all think it's just about us in here, but this is about an oppressive, fucked up system designed to keep niggas down and shit. Y'all wouldn't know nothing about that. What about you, little nigga? You know about that?
Yes.
Oh, you know about that? Tell me what you know about that. Tell me what you think about that.
I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you gon' find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. Belly of the beast, we been living in hell. They like, damn Kai, how could you tell? Put us in the project, set us up to fail. Round here, bullets be flying like hell. Too many of my niggas either dead or in jail. Make a nigga work when you locked in a cell. Can't find work when you out on bail, but your homie got the work, so we passed you a scale. Got them birds like the Bible got quail. Niggas selling out cause they mama got bills. Turning to coons like Oprah and Gail. How you sell your soul just to get a little kale? They put you in a dress when you get a record deal. Wanna see a nigga getting high on pills? You can dance on a pole, you can sell that tail, but they never tell a nigga that he can go to Yale. We all created equal, that's white males. All lives matter, not black males. Another mother crying, another coffin got a nail. How many brothers out here got killed? How many of our sisters out here gotta heal? How many more caps gotta get peeled? We beef with each other so quick to pull the steel. George Zimmerman still alive and well. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field. Feel. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Feel. Light-skinned nigga, you gon' find me in the field. Feel. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. Chill. Yo, chill!
Industrial complex is a system situated at the intersection of government and private interests. It uses prisons as a solution to social, political, and economic problems. It includes human rights violations, the death penalty, slave labor, policing, courts, the media, political prisoners, and the elimination of dissent.
They just want us to die in silence. They just want us to die in silence. They just want us to die in silence. I might start me a fucking riot. Slave rebellion, no compliance. They just want us to die in silence. They murder minds like they got a license. I pray for the coronavirus to kill all of these violent tyrants. They prey on us like they poaching lions. World War III's on the horizon. Black and Hispanics form alliance. From the west coast to the islands, this pressure is making diamonds. They've awakened sleeping giants. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field. Feel. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. But feel.
Nigga, did you just say what I was trying to say, but smarter? I like this little nigga.
One West, 12 tribes, UPK. Yeah. I'm a One West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters. I'll ride for those letters. The squad is forever. Ever since a nigga was young, I knew what I wanted. Knew that we could either be hunters or with the hunted. Meaning only choice was the predators or the prey. Showed this man wherever I was, but I didn't play. Then I started spitting, step fire to every stage. Rap gave a little bit of buzz, but it didn't stay. Then I started hustling, getting at some bread. I always went broke, making sure that my niggas fed. But then I looked for loyalty, niggas, they wasn't there. The same that I shed blood for, and it wasn't fair. Well, fuck it though, turn they back on a real nigga. It's when I found UPK and I'm still with them. Drill with them, cause I've been in the field with them. Fringed up garments, rocking the shield with them. I never turn traitor, I never let my colors fly. Never get my brother's book. I ain't like that other guy, nothing like them funny groups. They just better get in line. If you in the middle, you confused, you should pick a side. Me, I must stay loyal to the king till the day I die. I am One West, head beating in my chest. Fuck all the rest, we stayed, y'all left. Suckers ran scared, had to clean up y'all mess. That's why we took over, I can see that y'all stressed. We ain't got time to worry about no hater. My life is like a movie, should come with a narrator. They gather data, they wanna see us assimilated. Marching through the streets, know we coming, you hear our cadence. All you smell is Henny and frankincense is the fragrance. Cause I'm a One West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters, I'll ride for those letters. The squad is forever. I'm a One West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters, I'll ride for those letters. My squad is forever. It's forever. Squad is forever. When a nigga in this mode like I get so hyped, shining blinding like a strobe light. I'm my only calm, so I battle me back and forth nights like a bullfight. I see red charge and destroy might. Gave me foresight, so I know that winning the war might have them all tight. Fuck their feelings, cause they the soft type. I was always taught never turn your back on your brothers. Take on any enemy, know the strength in these numbers. UPK official, and ain't no coward among us. So make me go and bang with them sticks like I'm a drummer. How y'all gonna run with the style that we invented? You always talk the war was wild, but you never in it. All that coulda, shoulda, woulda. I see how you try to spin it. The way my soldiers move out, you think that we got evicted. It's One West in the building, we owning it while you renting. Lyrical exercise in the booth is my Planet Fitness. Words move you like calisthenics. Bars heavy, so when I bench it, I'm building up a hardcore. I flex when I'm finished. And right after a light workout, it's back to business. Group sick of UPK, cause we the illest. I got one question, will they ever stop hating? Waiting on this war so long, I'm salivating. Niggas turn bitch so strong, I call them Caitlyn. I get the green light, let's go, no hesitation. Y'all just been holding our spot like reservations. Now we back to work while you suckers still on vacation. Mixtape singles and even collaborations. They smiling in the face, but I know I see aggravation. You ain't got to hide it though, you fucking mighty cone. UPK bringing that heat, you know the fire's on. It's One West. Cause I'm a One West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters, I'll ride for those letters. The squad is forever. One West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters, I'll ride for those letters. The squad is forever. It's forever. The squad is forever.
Yeah. Go ahead. Come on, West. Go ahead. Go ahead. Rockin' this shit. Yeah. Go ahead. Look, I keep it low to the T. UPK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way. Go ahead. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. Go ahead. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Man, this shit is too easy. I'm on go, but they don't believe me. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, 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 V's. Hear them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. Mama grind, bitch, and work. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. Them niggas weak, cause they be churching. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If he cross the line, I'ma back up and I'ma hit his ass with this virus. When I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas we eat. I'm in this bitch with the itis. Say all y'all do the sweet. Dang, y'all do the sweet. The nigga made the wrong move, he make his ass obsolete. He ain't one of us, hit the lead. He ain't one of us, here preach. Come through all black gully jack, man, all them niggas go retreat. Go ahead. I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet, got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, here breach, nigga. Come through all black gully jack, man, all them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man, all them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man, all them niggas gon' retreat.
You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my cleats, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my target's on the move, but I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Gullah Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we pace. We form up in ranks. We body bag this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit.
I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet, got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, here breach, nigga. Come through all black gully jack, man, all them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man, all them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man, all them niggas gon' retreat. Go ahead.
One West is to raise, son, that's where I came from. That is my A1s, I'm talking day one. Rest of these niggas out here is just fake, son. Look, you can hate, son, you cannot take, son. I've been in every hood out of my state, son. Out in these streets, I'm steady blazing. Looking to cut a nigga like I'm Jason. I am the one. This is the Matrix, going so hard that they think I'm an agent. Going so hard that they said I'm a Mason. These are the facts though, I'm just amazing. There is no other way that I could state them. I earn my spot, it'll never be vacant. These niggas lazy, they got complacent. They wanna level these fucking Caucasians. How the fuck we gonna rebuild our nation? You niggas feminine, go get some makeup. Sorry, but my love is only for Jacob. We had some hard days, we learned some hard ways. Always, just know that I pray that we get it out the dust. Only thing that I trust, knowing that my niggas gon' bust. That's just thumbing up the rush, thinking that you won't get touched. Fuck when my brother get crushed, been through too much. Always come through in the clutch. Nigga just do what it does, fuck you thought shit was. Cause nigga it wasn't. Know that I do this a dozen. Always kept it 100. Niggas know I never stunning. And I keep shit running, even on the days when the pain keep coming, or a nigga fucked up and he feel like numbing. Show goes on, I just keep on drumming my fate. Even on the days I wanna break, saying how much could I take, still kept my faith. Even when these niggas act fake, even when it came like a snake, still kept my faith. Some days I ain't even wanna wake, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith. Even on the days I wanna break, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith.
Dark days with no night vision, that's why my heart is a cave and there's ice in it. Don't even trust niggas no more, Lord is my witness. Me and these niggas ain't the same, it's a slight difference. Thought a nigga had my back, now it's a knife in it. But now I'm back at the back like it's the ninth inning. Still got the backpack packed in the back of the camp van, taking any given chance to blaze on the white man. Son of Benjamin, born on the right hand, never losing grip, I understand who I am. Met a man that showed me the right path, now I'm rooted in the truth, to rule is my plan. And I can never lose sight like an exam. am. Sharp as iron, I was forged by fire, man. In the circle of life, how could I tire, man? I was undesired, had no one, and then I met these men and it changed how I'm living. Their words was convicting, called that a life sentence. Now I need a witness, but no, I'm not Christian. My faith in these Christians, man, not no religion, man. It's like Tazab, and I'm with my brother Katazab. Then you niggas too sweet like baklava. Niggas better not make a nigga bring them choppers out. Better pray for your health like the doctor's out. Just be faithful, one day you'll be thankful. Wonder why they hateful. Luckily I got angels. I'm so thankful. Yes, I'm so thankful. Used to be ashamed, and even before I think,
still kept my faith. Even on the days I wanna break, saying how much could I take, still kept my faith. Even when these niggas act fake, even when it came like a snake, still kept my faith. Some days I ain't even wanna wait, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith. Even on the days I wanna break, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith.
And that's why my heart is a cave and there's ice in it. Don't even trust niggas no more, Lord is my witness. Me and these niggas ain't the same, it's a slight difference. Thought a nigga had my...
I clap it up, clap it up.
The acoustics feel a little bit different in here.
It does.
A little bit better. A little bit better. I want to welcome y'all to the ISUPK, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, established in 1969, 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Established in 1969, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are led by Commanding General Yan. We have Salakia. We are spread all across the nation, North, Central, South America, all over, like even in Europe too. You can find a school anywhere near you in all major metropolitan areas. Go to ISUPK.com, scroll down to the contact page, get in touch with the school near you if you want any more info. We got a couple things going on today. So this is the Tuesday Brotherhood class.
That's right.
Consequences and repercussions. Now you may be asking yourself, like, what is that pertaining to? This world that we know certainly is not on our side.
Right.
So the consequences and repercussions that we are facing in this society, and to really get in depth of it, like we'll recap over some of the things and we'll highlight some of the notes, but like you got to look at the curses of Israel. You also got to look at for real, you got to look at Captain Katazai's 12 tribe chart breakdown.
Right.
And how he had not only did the research and dug up the anthropology and archaeology of the different zones and different regions that we reside in, showing how our people were in these lands in the Western Hemisphere, and how we had maintained our heritage and traditions. Items that people are not going to be very supportive of, because they need to maintain their kingdom. My fault, Salaki. The what? Now, there are a lot of people that disagree with the notion that so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, based on your father's lineage, bloodline going back down to First Nation, Boricuas, Arawak, Seminole Indians, North Native American Indians, so-called Mexicans, Incas, Aztec, Olmec. There's a lot of people that don't like that narrative, but have never actually presented an argument against it, at least against the UPK. I don't know if they've argued with somebody else or presented literature or an argument to another book, like a book club. but nobody's ever actually stepped to the UPK under Commanding General Yana concerning these facts and this history and the in-depth research that brothers have gone into to bring out this information. So now, the main, I would say one of, sorry, let me just pull up the scripture, Zephaniah 2:1. One of the starting points that we need as a people, even if we disagree on certain points, it's important for us to at least come to the table to be able to discuss the issues that we have an art against, that we have disagreements on.
Right.
To at least discuss it.
Right.
Now, a lot of people, again, most people are afraid to really have these conversations.
Right.
It's not going to be how would you say it? It's not a PTA conference. It's not a high school. What do they call it? Been a while since I've been in school. I kept on getting expelled, but the counselors there. There was a different name for it, I thought.
A dean?
Nah. Or something, but like even your high school counselors, trying to push you in one direction or another at an early age. If you have a so-called religious background, your preachers, your pastors, everybody and their mama that wanna tell you what they think or feel about the Bible, about these records. Like these records are not for everybody. That's honestly, that really is the first one that needs to be clarified. These records are not for everybody. The Bible is not for everybody. It outlines the rise and fall of Israel. It outlines the historical records and interactions with other nations of Israel. It defines the people of Israel. It is very specific. And now we make that claim, and people got a problem with that, but nobody has a problem with the Auschwitz survivors when they claim their Jewish heritage. They ain't never gonna say that they Jews, but they will say that they're Jewish. Nobody ever argues with them because of how egregious those crimes were against them. Being put in ovens and gas chambers. Like that sounds like some hell. Like that's horrible. That's horrible and deplorable. And shames the nation of people that did that to them. And even to this day, they are still receiving justice and recompense and restitution for the crimes that were committed against them. Right. They're still hunting down and looking for and imprisoning like 80, 90-year-old World War II German Nazi war veterans that are Edomites. Right. And persecuting them for the crimes that they had committed against other Edomites. I mean, there's social activism and anti-Semitism roles being played, and all these different bills and charters and protests and funding and charity drives, like for them, for the pain and suffering that that Edomite tribe had went through, which isn't even exclusive to the people that, because you had Polish, you had German, you had Russian, you had I guess what they would call gypsies, all being driven under that umbrella and being persecuted the same way. Again, all Edomite people, all Edomite tribes and nations. And they've got such a protected and coveted like barrier, like umbrella, like security system around them where America is dishing out billions of dollars annually for their prosperity, and Germany is kicking out some money, and Europe is kicking out some money, because I mean, how awful, how heartbreaking was their tale?
Right.
For what was that? From like the 1920s to the 40s?
What does that mean?
Like World War One and Two. I mean, I know World War One wasn't necessarily about them, or maybe I got that backwards. Maybe World War One was about them, World War Two wasn't, or World War One was not about them, and World War Two was.
Yeah, so, World War One was July 20, 1914.
And I think that was just Germany trying to take over the world.
Yeah, and so it's like it lasted for 4 years, 1914 to 1918.
4 years.
4 years. Two is 1939 through 1945. I see.
6 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
6 years.
It started in September and ended in September. Between
Okay. So one of them world wars was 4 years. Another one of those world wars was 6 years.
Yeah, 6 years. Good. Nice.
6 whole years. 4 whole years. How long have we been enslaved in America under this government? Was it at least more than 6?
Absolutely.
At least it's got to have been more than 6. Otherwise, we are just batshit crazy because of all the oppression going on the reservations up in Canada, up in the northern border states of in Minnesota, in Wisconsin, in Dakotas. It's got to have been more than 6, at least. Call me crazy. I don't know. It's got to have been at least more than 6. Certainly more than 4. I'm sure we got 4 beat. I'm pretty sure. But they have laws protecting them, and we don't.
Right.
They got an anti-Asian hate bill to protect Asians after one incident that was publicly recognized by everybody and their mama to protect them.
It's like if I may.
No
one talks about the situation that happened around the time of Rodney King, right?
Right.
When the Asian woman had shot a little black girl in the grocery store in Los Angeles because she thought that she was stealing.
Yeah.
She was going to pay for the actual, I believe, orange juice.
Right, kind of a gun.
And she shot the little black girl. And there was no justice for that little black girl.
At all.
And that was in the 90s.
And in the 90s, it was a crazy time for domestic terrorism.
Yeah. It's like not just Cali, everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. Like the 90s was a crazy time for that joint.
Yeah.
And in that system, orange juice at a corner store.
A corner store.
A corner store. Yeah. And orange juice. It wasn't Fort Knox and the safe of gold that they have buried underground or something like that. It wasn't the Pentagon or the White House and nuclear codes. It was a corner store and some orange juice. Rodney King, I mean, he was just driving home.
Yeah.
He wasn't smuggling uranium for an anti-American covert Russian unit planted in the city to blow up the pre 9/11 blow whatever the hell they wanted. Like it's not us doing the things that they do against us or against any other nation or country or group of people. It's the mundane that we get murdered over. And still no hate bill. I mean, Rodney King, 90s, certainly more deplorable of a situation than what happened to that Asian. And I mean, that was a wrongful death too. Like that was murder. They're absolutely right to feel that for their people. That was murder. They're absolutely right to feel that way and to band together and to protest against it. But the thing that they got that we don't got. It's like, sir.
No, what I was going to say was, so a beating of Rodney King happened in the same year, in the same month as that little sister that got killed. She was 15 years old. Her name is Latasha Harlins. So he got beat while being intoxicated, is what they say. He got beat March 3rd of 1991.
Shit, or he might have just been punch drunk.
There you go.
So, like,
that is a thing.
Yeah, no, I know. Physically,
God,
I know.
God. Otherwise, she got killed March 16th, 1991. 15 years old. So then a week later, after the brother got beat, and but also too, I'm sure there was a lot of killings. A lot of Black and Hispanic people who were, not noticed or not spoken about at that time. So yeah, and it's crazy. Like the same month, the same year, something terrible happened to our people. But I'm sure there's a lot more.
And
spoken about.
Kind of. Those are just the ones that were mentioned.
Right.
That were flagged. That were so such a publicly enacted story.
Right.
That deserves some type of national recognition. Because God forbid, Esau seemed a little bit racist against,
right.
Against his brother. Well, it's like not his brother, but that history hasn't changed.
Right.
And the narrative is fluffed up as they want to make it seem.
Right.
It hasn't gotten any better for a certain group of people. Damn near everybody got a Save Ukraine flag on their social media. But they're not doing anything to protect our brothers and sisters in Canada from being abducted.
Right.
And one of the main problems that we find that we're gonna, if you haven't noticed it already, one of the main problems is integration, is our involvement in their society. When, according to the Bible, we are prescribed to be separated from everybody and everything and to follow our customs, adhere to our laws, abide by our rules and regulations. But we let our oppressors supersede that. Now, there's a right and a wrong for that. In America, supposedly, it's murder is wrong. Murder is wrong. Cops murder people every fucking day. Salaki Jones. But it's wrong on paper. Rape is wrong on paper. It's wrong in the Bible. That's a death penalty offense in the Bible. It happens every day by those same people that push that legislation, that are in charge of that judicial system. They are some of the same people that commit those same crimes. And they're still in their little mini mansions and, they're going on vacations and their resorts and raising their families. While you got brothers and sisters that are being wrongfully accused, crimes that they did not commit, spending the next 20, 30 years behind bars. Right. What Donald Trump did to them brothers what was it, Central Park 5.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
What he did, he wasn't nothing. He was just some rich boy's son. Like he wasn't nothing at that time. Like he wasn't shit. Like he was a public figure to a point, but he wasn't what he was. He was not politically involved, and his voice made a difference on behalf of good old America, and the Stars and Stripes, and 4th of July, imbued in a good patriot like himself, who never fought in any wars, for America. But he had such a strong presence, and his influence, his dictation to misrepresent the facts of the case and to suggest what should happen to those young men that were found innocent decades after. Decades after, in what was it, like Rikers Island, like something like that. That's not that ain't.
It's like, I mean, Rikers Island is on the list for the most dangerous jail, just prisons.
You're not going there for tax evasion.
Yeah. And well, also too, Corey, Corey Wise is his name. Corey Wise, I mean, he had an ailment as a child, but it worsened because of him being in that prison. And so the last interview that I seen that he did, he can barely make out certain words. You know what I mean? The brother was so damaged. You know what I mean? And he really don't like doing interviews because it's so traumatizing. You know what I mean? He talks about the stuff that happened inside the prison. And as far as Esau, as far as his own people, it's very sad. You know what I mean? And there's a show, a series on this whole Central Park 5, which is on Netflix.
Yep.
When They See Us.
And I know that's based on a true story.
And a lot of the scenes or each episode is really based on what actually happened. You know what I mean?
So are they like historically correct?
And a black woman is who made that. You might recognize her, maybe not. Maybe not.
I just hope they're being true to the facts, and because like there's been a lot of again based on a true story shows and movies that are out there that exaggerate certain things, and they might not know certain information, certain instances.
Right.
They might not know all the details.
Mm-hmm.
But if this is something that does reflect at least the facts of the matter, for what we are privy to.
So a lot of the details that was brought out as far as the interviews and stuff like that. I mean, they said that damn near everything. So damn near everything, not everything, but damn near everything in this series was pretty accurate of what happened. It was so bad to the point that the actors that were acting as a younger version of these adults that are now free, they had to get therapy.
That's messed up.
They had to get therapy because they were putting themselves in their position,
putting them in there.
Really, like really into the mindset. Like they had to get therapy,
and that's rough, man.
Just to get through the whole series. I've never heard of that in any show.
And you know what? And then like get them a flyer.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Get them a flyer. Those are the type of people that can actually understand the plight of what's going on, and that can really connect this shit and piece it together and have the empathy and brotherhood and sisterhood necessary to rebuild this nation.
Right.
It needs people. You gotta feel it.
Right.
You gotta feel. It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be uncomfortable. Like it's gonna mess you up maybe for a little bit. No sweat. You're gonna be stronger because of it. You're gonna have that ambition to help correct what's been done to us, and help build us to a brighter future. And into damn, so like what's how's it phrased? damn, to occupy
Right.
until his return. To hold it down, to hold the fort down until the Most High send Yahweh back.
Right.
To crush our enemies and to rebuild our nation so that we can set this world right. The world shouldn't look like this, man. It shouldn't. I bet you know, like in your city, all the vacant buildings and all the homeless people. You might not know them individually, that's not what I'm saying, but you know that there's homeless people in your city and that there's vacant buildings and that this government has the resources to correct, to fix, to provide for these ailments in our cities. Now, predominantly, like overall, like if you were to look over the whole populace of America, since that's what most people want to deal with, it's predominantly going to be Edomites that are homeless and destitute and in jail, just because they are the majority of the country's populace. I think they represent 70 to 80%, something like that. While the other minorities, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we're like 20s. I think collectively we're around 20% of the American population, and then you got a small preponderance of the rest. And we're still talking millions of people. Even like 1, 2, 10%, we're still talking like millions of people as far as the consensus, the documented consensus of the American population. Most of the illegal immigrants, and this might shock a lot of people, strap yourselves in. They're not Mexicans. They're not Mexicans. And that's gonna break a lot of conservatives' hearts and Republicans and
That's what I'm like.
right. Come. The majority of illegal immigrants are not Mexicans. Think about that. East Indians, aka Elamites, Arabians or Middle Easterns, aka Ishmaelites, Asians, other Asian populaces, aka Moab and or Ammon. Those are those are the big numbers. They're the main illegal immigrants. Well, Salakia, let me step all the way back. So-called Caucasians, aka Edomites, Esau. That is the first and foremost breaker of that law. They are the original illegal immigrant. I think on any continent, in any country, in any democracy, they are the original. They are the OG illegal immigrants. That's why it's always so funny when you see one of those Karen videos of them telling a brother or sister, go back to where you came from, Mexico or Guatemala or Brazil, Peru, something like that. When they need to go back to Poland and Ireland and the Caucasus Mountains, like, sir.
You know what's funny about that? I just saw a meme,
That's another one, huh?
So actually, I saw the meme years ago where someone was like, okay, so it was a conversation between a Karen and a black person. It was like Karen said, "Hey, go back to Africa,
Go back to Africa."
And the black person was like, "Well, let's both get on the ship because you ain't from America either."
Yeah.
And I thought it was so hilarious because white people always say, "Hey, go back to where you came from.
Go back."
Really, we are from Jerusalem, Israel, but you ain't from America. You stole this place. You invaded this place. Just like the heathens right now, they invaded Israel. But I thought it was just so hilarious where Karen's like, "Yeah, go back where you came from." Well, you as well. We could both take this boat ride back to where we came from. Because we ain't from America. But anyways,
and they have no concept of that because the people are so proud. And actually, that's actually going to be one of the scriptures too. All right, so Salakia, we need Zephaniah 2:1. Kick this off right. Get back with these scriptures, because there's gonna be one thing that pisses a lot of people off that they don't like, is that all the answers to our problems, the solution is in this Bible. It's in these records for the Israelites, for our people. Everybody else has taken advantage of it and exploited our code of conduct and code of ethics to achieve domination. But they're not abiding by the rules of the Bible. They're just superimposing the Most High laws into modern society. And at an earlier time, under easier influence, put them, to oppression. Like even their own people, like this is how they took control of the government. They want to try to separate church and state, whereas at the time they had kind of hand in hand. But that's the same guys as the slave Bible. They only used certain scriptures, and they only narrated it a certain way, under a certain context, for certain reasons, to get certain results. That's why a lot of people do not trust the Bible.
Right.
Like that.
Say that one more time.
They only used it for a certain way, using certain precept in a certain context for a certain way to achieve a certain result.
Yeah,
that's all they did. That's all they did. That's literally the slave Bible. That's exactly how they did it. That's exactly how they did it, until a nigga like Nat Turner read the Bible and then saw it.
That was heavy.
And then he saw it. He saw the difference, and he acted on it. And I wish we were there with him. He would have had more of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, hell, it could have been right then and there, but this got turned over. Right. But we're still in it. We're still in the fight. That's the thing that you cannot forget. We're still in the fight. Salakia, Zephaniah 2:1.
I got you. Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
It's like, I believe it says something after that too, if you could.
Verse 2.
Okay.
Verse 2. Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you.
And you know what? So like that's a wrong one I was thinking of, but that's still a heavy point, because again, the Lord's ordinance was only given to Israel. Now we talked about this last week.
Oh, that's right.
We were on that same topic about who the Lord had given this ordinance to, and why he would have been angry with us, for these reasons, for abandoning, jumping ship. But gather together, O nation not desired. He's speaking to Israel. He's speaking to the nation of Israel, to that specific, very specific group of people. It wasn't speaking to the nation of Ammon, or to the Ishmaelites, or to the Cushites, or to the what's Cush? The Mizraimites, to the what other ites?
Right.
Hittites, this or that ites, proper pronoun ites, atheist ites. And he wasn't talking to them. He was talking to the Israelites. And throughout the Bible, like again, the history is very clear and concise on who he was dealing with, who the Most High was talking to. So again, gather together, O nation not desired. You really gotta pay attention to things like this, because again, some of the things that we just opened up the story with, Damn, that was the other one. Dylan Roof Storm gonna shoot up a black church. Gonna go to Burger King. With the Burger King before they took him to jail. They murdered Trayvon Martin. He didn't shoot nobody. Unless I'm wrong. Did Trayvon Martin murder a group of people with an assault rifle? Did he unload a clip and then reload a clip and still keep on shooting people? Did I get that story wrong? Select.
All he did was walk to the store, came back from the store and got killed. As he was walking on in a dark area, he was harassed and killed.
By a neighborhood watch participant.
And the police told him not to.
Police told him, do not pursue that young man.
Yeah.
They sold his gun on eBay on an auction site for $250,000.
And he was sitting well lavish.
He's still alive.
Florida.
In Florida.
Still alive.
Living good off of that brother murder. That's the people that we dealing with here. Where is it? Nation of Fierce Countenance.
Deuteronomy 28 and
Salakia, sir, if you could.
I got you.
That's what we dealing with. 4th of July. What just happened out there, man? Some devil perched himself up on the rooftop. Killed a number of people. Murdered a number of people. Injured many others. Murdered a young brother. Mr. Salakia. Did they say who the victim was? Was that a brother?
As far as Jalen Woods?
Yeah. The rooftop killer. The people that he killed.
You talking about Highland Park?
Yeah. The 15-year-old, the young one. It's like, let me look it up.
That shot? The 6 people?
The 15-year-old that got shot.
No, I didn't see that part yet. I'm not too sure.
Salakia. So I don't want to presuppose, because God forbid we make this a racial issue. Because I mean that's never been a problem in America, by any means. Dude murdered men, women, and children during the 4th of July parade. And now I don't think that they took him to Taco Bell or Burger King or McDonald's or Wendy's or Chick-fil-A afterwards, but they sure shit didn't shoot him. They didn't murder him for murdering other people and then walking through the neighborhood after he got done murdering some people. Same thing with that Dylan Roof Storm. Same thing with what was it? The Buffalo shooter.
Payton.
Yeah.
Payton.
Yeah.
His last name is weird.
Yeah. Dude, weirdo ass.
Yeah.
He wasn't murdered. Now there was an incident. I think it was a Texas shooting.
Yeah, Texas.
Yeah.
You bad.
Yep.
Yeah, he was murdered. He was
Yeah, they killed him.
Yeah, they killed him.
They killed him.
Trans or some weird shit.
Nobody wanted to run in that building and save them kids.
Except for the parents.
And one cop.
And then they tried to persecute.
They try to I think one parent was actually I don't.
She was a sister. They tried to arrest her because she wanted to go save her child.
Right. But now that one other officer that was on the scene that ran in there to save their kid, nothing happened to them. But now she also ran back out after they got their kids. But then that one sister that ran in there, she stayed to protect the other kids. Damn, so they stayed to protect the other kids.
Yeah. Yeah. And also too, somebody from the police department just resigned 2-3 days ago because they couldn't fathom all the questions and all the pressure that was going on because they can answer as far as why did they did not do their job.
And that's the ambiguity that this culture has spawned. Like you can't, like everything is like a gray area unless that rainbow flag deems it something else, because that's not part of the spectrum. Like everything is a gray area that allows for this or that, and laws are not enacted for certain things because of other people's consideration. And again, when have we ever gotten that consideration? They still murdering us out there based off of racial and prejudiced bias. It's not just my life scenario. That Asian that was murdered, that wasn't a fear for my life scenario either. They got an anti-Asian hate bill out of it. Meanwhile, we get racially profiled for like everything. Like everything. But they don't question you're dealing with storms. People like that. They were, bullied on social media, or they had some depression issues, or their girlfriend dumped them, and they were high as hell on something, and they just couldn't find their social acceptance. And we just trying to live out here. We still just trying to survive. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1 through 8. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the sun. That the time that we live in right now is Zephaniah 2:1, for sure. And that doesn't mean that it's just on the 1st of July. Zephaniah 2:1 is enacted. On the 1st of July, gather together, O nation that desire. No. I wouldn't even say in 1969 was when it kicked off. I mean, thousands of years ago is when we should have been putting this into practice. Gather together, O nation that desire.
That's right.
Because there is a time, there's a thing, it's like to everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the sun. Verse 2, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. There's a natural order to things. There's a natural way to die. Even if it's a rattlesnake bite, bacteria infection, a virus, cancer, like whatever. Like there's natural ways to die, even if it is, disease outside of old age. Like, sir.
Right. A sister, Maracapa, she had said there was more than a dozen mass shootings on the 4th of July. Damn right.
More than a dozen. Count. And I was gonna, the water sis. The numbers that they have generated. Again, this is like really, it's no different than last year. It's no different than the year before that.
Right.
The year before that.
Right.
The year before that. All right. So that was 4 years ago. So we're back in 2018. I think 4th of July has been going on for a couple hundred years.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's been no different. They hide their bullets behind, firecrackers and fireworks. Again, the drugs, and so that's just the murders and the gun violence and gang violence. You still got domestic violence to consider. You still got overdosing to consider. You still got suicide to consider. All wrapped up around these holidays. The patterns don't change. The numbers might fluctuate, but the patterns don't change. It breeds that same demon, that same environment for everybody to to I want to say take matters into their own hands, but think that they know best. Um, this drug, it opens up my third eye, and I had these lucid dreams, and I saw things so much clearly. Nah, nigga, like you saw a movie a week ago, and you got high the week after, and now you're living in the dream. And because when you sober up from that and you got to go back to work, or you got to go back to school, or you got to go back to your crazy mother, your child, or the father of your children, now everything seems too much to bear. Like people got soft. People got soft. And that's the other reason why Zephaniah 2:1 is so important. We got to gather together. That nation that's not desired, that's not being protected. We ain't got no rights, facilitated towards us. You got my minority grants and things like that you got to jump through hoops for if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. If you Middle Eastern or something like that, or Asian, bro, you can come over here, and like African or something like that, you can come over here like overnight. Overnight, you got a gas station, you got a corner store, you got an apartment complex damn near, like overnight, like you set. And then for 7 years, you ain't got to pay no taxes. You can sign that shit over to your cousin, and then just repeat the cycle. They don't give that consideration to us. They don't use that. We don't get none of them benefits. So that's why we have to gather together.
Right.
Don't worry about the vote. Don't worry about the next election that's coming into play, or whoever is going to be standing on that podium spewing a bunch of lies. That should not be your concern. You're not going to benefit from it at all. But you have to recognize the times that we're in and who we're dealing with. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 3. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. Again, that natural order, that natural process of life. In this case, in this context, it's not talking about, killing people. It's just, time to kill off a life. So again, that brother or sister that's 99 years old, all right, it's time to let them go. Nothing passes without the Most High's authorization.
Right.
So it's a time to kill. It's a time to heal. It's a time to break down. It's a time to break down. It's a time to build up. Verse 4. It's a time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. This is not the time to throw a mushroom enhanced glow stick filled rave in a warehouse or somebody's basement where you made the ecstasy out of their toilet. Like, this is not that time. And people think that that's happiness and being liberal and free, and we're just experiencing life. There's a lot of people out there that don't know that human trafficking is a real thing.
Right.
They think that what they've noticed on TikTok or on social media, like that's real life. There are children. There are men, women, and children. You got infants. You got toddlers. You got prepubescent children. You got preteens. You got teenagers. You got adolescents. You got adults. You got middle-aged men, and women. I can't say children in that capacity, but that go up missing. They get trafficked throughout different countries for many different purposes, not just sexual. I mean, organ harvesting, like that. That's a real thing. It's not just what thriller and horror movies are made out to be. And this is real life, and they're predominantly, like, they are happening. If you notice it, like the patterns, they are happening predominantly in our neighborhoods, in so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian neighborhoods, on the reservations. That's where it's going down. in the ghettos. That's where it's going down. Tax fraud is going down in the suburbs. That's what they got. All right, so a wildfire in California, you know, is a judgment from the Most High. That's what they got. As a judgment for our people's in inadequacies and crimes against the Most High. We are being kidnapped on the reservations in our own backyards. And we are being lulled to sleep by society's measure of conformance and acceptability. Like that rainbow flag that they trying to bash everybody over the head with, that they claim it's all peace and love, but they're like trying to cram it down your throat. Pause. It's not built off of peace and love.
Right.
They're not. How would I say? They're utilizing their appropriate time to kill, to break down. And they're not governed by like anything. The only thing that's kind of governing that community is social media, and that's just off of content. You can't say the 3-letter F word. You can't if somebody identifies as X, Y, and Z, you can't call them Z, Y, and X. They're living their time, what they're living under, what they're doing is based off of. People are going to get this thing confused. That's based off of the world that they've established. Now, we don't see them being punished overnight. Like we know that this kingdom is wicked. We know that what that devil did in Chicago was a horrible thing to do. And we focus more so on, again, common knowledge of social acceptance. Because this is their kingdom. And they're delegating what's right and wrong. What's influential, what's detrimental to the people, as far as, you know, what they want to expose their populace to, their subjects to, what they want them to know. And they've done a damn good job on recruiting everybody to their cause. So, you know, we feel bad, you know, when the Twin Towers fell, and
Right.
at the Afghan wars, you know, we revered their veterans for you know, being liberators and not just tools of this oppressor to push their agenda. And we're accepting their times. We're accepting their way of life, their mission, their calendars, their holidays. Again, this 4th of July, man, like, shouldn't none of y'all have been out there? How many, like, if we were to, you know, maybe let me, I'm gonna look that up later. I don't want to get too distracted. But how many brothers and sisters, and I don't care about the other nations, how many brothers and sisters lost a finger, blew out flipping eyeball, set their house on fire because of 4th of July? How many people got murdered over drug deals, over past indiscretions? How many sisters cheated on their husbands? How many brothers went to jail? How many brothers sold drugs? Got, like, how high people got, like the overdose Like those are the numbers that we really need to look at to, and it sucks that we even got to try to bring those statistics to the public eye to justify why our people need to separate from these nations when again we see this being done annually. We're just talking about 4th of July right now, like that was the main topic. When Halloween kicked off, we were talking about the same things at that time because the same patterns keep on going. Murder, suicide, drug abuse. And more it's being done at the hands of these very much privileged and individuals not being held accountable for their actions. We're gonna get that scripture too. But to finish this off, Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 5. The time to cast away stones and the time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. Verse 6, a time to get and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. Verse 7, a time to rend and a time to sow. And a time to keep silence and a time to speak. In verse 8, a time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. Nobody ever wants to read that part in the Bible. They want to give you John 3:16. They don't want to give you Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 8. They don't want to read that part because according to them, God is all love. God is all love. Right. Mind you, keep that part in your memory bank. God is all love. During all the holidays that they slap his name on, despite all the crimes that are being committed in the public eye, that are documented, they're recorded. But it's God love everybody, so you want to be like God. If you're an atheist, you're supposed to just treat everybody with some type of love and respect and just be a good person, even though that's subjective too. And that's objective. Hitler subjectively was a good person to his people.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Nobody wants to talk about that though, because they won the war. If Hitler and them won the war, World War I and II, it'd be a completely different topic, completely different discussion. But we're under the side that had made their point and chose their allegiance. So now this is the narrative that we're left with. That's a narrative that we have to live in. But we do have a moral compass and a way to govern our lives outside of theirs. And so long as we ain't breaking no laws over here, we ain't got to worry about what we're doing out there. Because again, on paper, most of their laws aren't adverse to the Bible as such. Again, on paper, but what they're actually doing is completely different. Let me get the next ones. But again, man, what happened in Chicago, what happened in Texas, what happened in Boston, again, mass shootings, man. Mass shootings. For no apparent reason. Why is this not working? I'm trying to, I had a bunch of them saved on different tabs, but it's not letting me get back to it. There we go. But now we think we know what's right. Because you got all these, what was that? What was that weirdo? That passed away. Kevin James? No.
Someone Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels? Some internet gurus that think that they know how to counsel people live on the internet, exposing all their issues. And you got them dumbass callers that are gonna call in and expose themselves live. Anytime that somebody tries to do that on like Cross the Line Radio, come. Anytime that somebody try to do that on Cross the Line Radio, Captain Tazaria, Captain Kataza, like one of the first things that they do is they almost kind of like shut it down real quick. Make sure like is this something that you want to do live on the air, or should we, they'll give them their phone number and we can contact them later, and you can discuss that off the air, so you're not exposing yourself. But again, the times that we live in, man, they don't observe abstinence or culpability, responsibility, acknowledgement. They have no adherence to a code of conduct outside of pleasure. And really that's pretty much how it's governed. Whatever makes you feel good must be right. And on paper they may have, laws against this, that, or the third, but as we've seen from, time and time and time again, historically, we have seen them go back on that word. We've seen them not, good Lord, like you got famous people out there that guilty of bestiality and incest and rape and molestation, that were public figures, that were supposed to be, like a symbol of decency and truth. And we accept it because, the government said so, and because other celebrities and people of influence had co-signed it. So we think that's the right way to go. Jeremiah chapter 17, verses 9 through 10. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Verse 10. I, the Lord, search the heart. I try the reins, even to every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. We're not seeing that being scrutinized in this society. We're seeing everybody's delicate nature being catered to. And the consequences and repercussions of this is children being shot at a 4th of July parade. Because you were there at a 4th of July parade is why you got shot. So in the overall view, just to help people kind of make sense of this, that kid got shot. That specific child would not have gotten shot if that child did not attend that 4th of July parade, because he wouldn't have been there. But because he was there and somebody was sitting there shooting and sniping people, he was one of the people that got murdered, just like the other 6. So initially when I saw the report, there were 6 people that got murdered. There was another one in the hospital. That person had died, which became the 7th victim. There were others that had gotten shot that survived it. But also the shooter wasn't met with the same energy. They didn't murder nobody. They didn't murder nobody. Let me try to move this, kick that out the way. They got handcuffed, walked, let's see what the report said. But that child and the other people that were victims of that act, because they were at that function. If there were no 4th of July holidays or parades, those people wouldn't have gotten shot. If there weren't Christian churches, that devil wouldn't have walked up inside that building and decided to shoot them up. Being what's the word? I guess being unprofiled, because they don't profile those people. I mean, they get away with a whole lot. I mean, they look and act the part of your model citizen, and until you do, like, the background check and find out that there were some weirdos anyway. But they don't get charged or criminally targeted the same way that they do us. And we're not even the ones that do this. Like, we murder each other, which is a part of another reason why it's not that big of a deal to America. We murdering each other. We doing their job for them. If we were gangbanging and warring with other nations, like other races and ethnicities, committing the same crimes that we doing against each other to them, it'd be a whole different ballgame. But again, we love this society and all of its everything that it affords. All the drugs, all the pleasures, all the horrors, all the distractions. 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Now, that's gotta be a contradiction against John 3:16. The most famous scripture that everybody wants to try to quote because it's got the word world in it, and how it's written down. For God so loved the world. He didn't say the whole world though. He didn't say he did not say the entire world. But he did say, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whoever should believe, and I'm paraphrasing, that whoever should believe would be saved. That seems pretty ambiguous. That doesn't seem to me, and could be wrong, but that doesn't seem detailed. Especially when you look at passages like this, 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. Stop going to 4th of July parades. Stop going to Juneteenth events. Stop celebrating Christmas and birthdays and New Year's. And, this, that, and the third. Stop trick-or-treating. Stop going out on Halloween. And stop busting your back over a Valentine's Day. Like, again, if you look at the patterns around these holidays, it happens all the time. Murders, overdoses, suicides. And again, you got more and more of these weirdos doing mass shootings. This dude did it with a sniper rifle, man. It's not like he walked into the club with an AR and Uzi or Glock or something like that and just lit the place up. Yeah, he was out there, picking and choosing his targets. He got the scope on there. Unless he was shooting just blah, 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 blah. He had a scope. He could see who he was shooting. One of his targets was a 15-year-old, which again happens every day in America. Right. By our oppressors.
Right.
which is why we need to stop doing it with each other. Because when our ways please the Most High, even our enemies will be at peace with us.
Right.
And that's a hard concept for people to understand because we ain't never known peace. Like anybody that's alive right now, like I can't think of nobody that I personally know that has known peace, that hasn't lived in a crazy neighborhood, that hasn't had some, very unfortunate things going on inside their family. For those that could say that, hey, Most High in Christ. I don't want no pain for none of us. It's just an unfortunate reality that the majority of us have gone through, some of these things. And we got to have these conversations, which is why the ISUPK and Command Journey HANA is open 24/7 for counsel.
That's right.
Go to isupk.com, scroll down to the Contact Now button, and find that school near you. If there's any issues you got that you need an answer to, if you need some help with something, if you feel the overwhelming, notion to help, the cause, to make a donation. You should be paying your tithes anyway, but to make a donation at least.
Right.
We're here for us. We're not here for the Christians' theology of John 3:16. We're not here for that. We're here for Israel because these records and everything that they're quoting is only about Israel. And we have to separate ourselves from that mindset. And again, there's that time. There's that time. Everything has its season. The time to love and the time to hate. We are in that time when this society is loving everything that matches their sentiment, and it's hating everything that don't. So that means you, if you're following the Most High. If you're not following the Most High, if you're in the Egyptology, or if you're in the horoscopes, or Kemetic spirituality, or whatever else, atheism, agnostics, Christianity might as well be too. If you're into all that other stuff, all that other jargon, expect to be accepted by the world. If you hold that staunch belief that these records only pertain to you, and you're so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you need to stand on this point and just show that division. You ain't got to berate nobody. You ain't got to go out there and fight nobody, steal or rob for nobody, and physically harm somebody. You ain't got to answer no questions, like on the job site or on school, something like that. Your supervisor want to come to you because he saw something on your Facebook that you don't agree with. That's against the company's core values. You ain't got to sit there and tuck tail and run. I mean, hell, if they want to fire you over it, you got a potential lawsuit on your hands. That's discrimination.
Right.
Think of the term anti-Semitism.
Right.
How many people have gone to court over that? And one, boy, let me tell you, they got some money out there for you. But for the most of the people, like, that's not the spirit that they got. They don't want to fight. They don't want to stand different. They want to go to a 4th of July party and show off some sparklers and see all the flashing lights. For somebody else's independence. They ain't got nothing to do with you. And on those couple days of the year when it's supposed to be about your independence, gets ransacked by our oppressors. And we end up paying them money to celebrate our own independence. And then we give them even more money to celebrate their independence. And nobody sees a problem with that. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
Right.
1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Verse 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, which is namely what governs everything out here, all the influences, everything that we are captivated by. It's a form of lust of the flesh. So I mean, not only what you might covet on the side, but what you want for yourself. And the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. And it's like it. Yeah, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. That whole John 3:16, like that's not this world. It's the same word, but that's not the same context. The Bible is showing you, these records are showing a very distinct difference based off of like how would I say it? The way that they spit this is very different from what we received. Because you had rugged and smooth brothers from back in the day living through the same things that we living through.
Right.
That were the forefront, that were the pioneers of this world, delivering this message, bringing these truths out, showing these examples to our people and our people only. This was the audience. Everybody else saw it. That's why they was able to manipulate it and try to attach themselves to it. But that world that we talking about here, that's your LGBTQ communities. That's your vote or die communities and philosophy. That's your make weed legal environments. And so like I can't remember the term that I was just thinking of, but just to substitute it, your proper pronoun communities, which I guess would fill in with the LGBTs, but this is the world that's accepted by everybody else, which is why we are that nation not desired, because we are supposed to choose something different than what we've been presented with, that we keep on getting pressed with. Verse 17, and the world passes away. So like all this, like it ain't gonna last. We're spending so much time and energy and concentration and focus on something that's gonna die off. This is not gonna last. Especially when the Lord's kingdom comes into play. The end of Esau, the beginning of Jacob, on earth as it is in heaven, that kingdom, when this takes over the entire world, the entire known world, the entire known solar system, galaxy, universe, everything that you invested into equal rights for, again, people that hate you, you're going to see it like how foolish that was, and what a mistake that was. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of God abideth forever. In the world, it's like, in the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. That's gonna let you know, like everything that we fixated on right now, that's gonna come to an end. It's gonna come to a time where the Most High is just gonna shut it down, and you're only gonna be able to go in this direction, follow that narrow path, which is gonna mean life, or you're gonna walk that wide path, which is gonna mean death. All like everything in this world, all your lusts, that's gonna go to the one side. But he that doeth the will of God abideth forever. That's gonna walk the narrow path. And you're gonna see that difference. You're gonna see all them bodies mounting up and just piling up. And you're gonna see the world buckle. And it's gonna have to change over. The authority is gonna change over. It's not gonna be left into the hands of your Biden's, or like the dumbass argument of Biden or Trump. It's never gonna be that again at this point. When the kingdom is restored, it's never gonna be that argument. You ain't gonna have to worry about Hillary's and Palin's and what's old girl name, the vice president, Harris's.
Kamala Harris.
Yeah, you ain't gonna have to worry about Kamala Harris's or heresies. You ain't gonna have to worry about Biden's and Trump's. You ain't gonna have to worry about Democrats or Republicans. Everything is like it's gonna be shut down. And at that point, it's gonna be too late to make your choice willingly. You're gonna end up being left in the last choice that you have made, the last allegiance that you have made. And the servitude that you're gonna have to follow, that's gonna be because of, what you chose to do before, even after hearing the word. And again, there's a lot of resources out here for you to learn the truth. Certainly always look it up. Always do your due diligence and do your research. Encyclopedias and libraries and dictionaries and online, this, that, or the third. Like there's a lot of resources that you can tap into to try to delve into what's real, what's not, what's expected of you, what's not, where you fit in, where you don't. But if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you fit in and you are commanded to come back home.
That's right.
You're commanded to come back home. The Lord requires his flock.
That's right.
And you do not want to be the one that he got to come see because you failed his flock, because you let that one sheep go, because you turned your back on it, because you didn't, because you just wanted them to live free and experience life and just be themselves. Things like that's gonna get them murdered. Things like that's gonna get them on that missing placard at your local Walmart. You understand what I'm saying? Now, even though like we all like Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians, I mean everybody go to Walmart and you're gonna see them faces.
Right.
But there's no law enforcement agency that actually has a hold on protecting those missing faces. They don't often, all too often, they're not recovered. They go missing, you don't see them again. That's the pattern. That's just what normally happens. You might get a couple of them back. And I'm happy for every family. And I'm sorry for them at the same time that they had to go through that, but got a result.
Right.
But we're relying on a nation of people who have all these resources in hand, and for the longest time have just turned their back on it. But they collect money. That's the other messed up part, man. They collect money to run these programs in those facilities, government money to run them programs and facilities, but got no results.
Right.
They still digging up cemeteries from the boarding schools on the reservations in Canada, and they still coming up with children's bones and grave sites. That's still going on, which should tell you that for the longest time, again, people were being taken advantage of. It's not like, because none of that was reported at the time that it happened, and it's not like they didn't have the media outlets or communication skills to present that information to the public and let the government know, like, hey, it's all these kids had developed some rare form of disease, and they're all dead. They had the capability to at least make a statement like that. And they made their statements. But for decades, for generations, we don't know how these at one time living children and people became unliving children and people. And now we're uncovering grave sites on land that was, and this is not every case, but on land that was supposed to be part of our reservations, but still a lot of it was government owned. So on land, grave sites, not just a couple of graves and tombstones because they were marked properly. We're talking about like, the mounds, Indian burial mounds that you hear about in all these, dumbass horror stories and, mockery movies of our play and of our history and our culture. They still uncovering mounds of, mass graves of our children, of our brothers and our sisters that we're not going to see any justice from. And again, quite similar to this whole 4th of July thing, they're going to get, we're going to wait till we get the final verdict, but, ain't going to be no resolution that's going to be sufficient to stop it from happening again in the future. There's not going to be anything that's going to prevent somebody else to not do that. No inspiration, no moral compass, no thought in the back of their head that's like, maybe this is wrong. They're going to see somebody go through with it and damn near essentially get away with it. And they're going to want to do something similar too, so that they can either be like a lot of them too, man. Like shit. I mean, they just trying to be like YouTube famous or TikTok famous. You could be a prisoner and then all of a sudden you got like 3 billion views and subscribers on your channel. Like you're you know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna get some kickback from that when the truth, is not as enticing for the majority of the people. The algorithm hasn't built up quite as much as silly kitty cats. That messed up though. Like the truth don't get as much airtime and play and recognition as pets acting silly. That's our competition. It's adorable kitty cats. It's like you said.
It's lies over the truth.
The lies over the truth. That's our competition. That's who and what we got to deal with. And we cool with everybody that wants to just voice their opinion and live their truth and be free without the constraints of some patrilineal patriarchal, if that's the right word, patriarchal, misogynistic belief system as the Bible. I get it. I understand it. Because this will not condone you getting high or being a homosexual or being a rapist or a murderer or a thief, child molester, a liar, an extortionist, a bully. This won't let you do that. But all they want to do is have fun, live in the moment. That young person at the 4th of July parade, he was just living in the moment until a bullet passed through his brain. That one moment killed him living in the moment. And I ain't trying to make fun of any of these situations. Just like people gotta realize just how precarious and delicate the truth really is. Like you gotta pay attention to it, and you can't be as loose with it as you think. Yeah, what was the one scripture? It's like the heart. The heart is deceitful above all things. And that's something that again people they just want to cater to how they feel about things, and what they want, and what's important to them, because they got some I don't know, some teacher at some community college that has a degree in finger paint, like, and you're gonna take these people serious. Like this is gonna be your guide to understanding the problems that we're facing and how to solve it, like the solution behind it. So I mean, again,
You said
finger painting. There's got to be somebody out there with a degree in finger painting. I can guarantee it.
Otherwise, associates or bachelors in stupidity.
There you go. There you go. You got a master's in balloon animals, and that's who you trust. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm gonna wear my Mortal Kombat outfit, and we gonna rock. We gonna rock. The fire weekend that's coming up. You know what I'm saying? July 21st through the 25th, or through the 24th in Chicago. Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks, man. Like it's coming up like super fast. Get everything arranged, and if you got any doubts or I guess I should say doubtful disputations that you need, clarity on, come kick it with us, man. Come kick it with us in real life. Like come out with us. Come out with us. Come hang out with us. Come meet us. Come to class. We got 12 Seal General Muhammad scripture breakdown class on that Thursday. Like the day that everything kicks off on the 21st. Followed up by Cap Katazar Cross the Line Radio. On that Friday, I think that's when we're going out to camp. And we're gonna be on a Miracle Mile with Commanding General Yahan. And either that Friday or that Saturday, so like I ain't got the flyer here right now, but you got the lecture before Columbus came with Captain Asaparium, Captain Katazar, big brother Kazak Yah from Cali. Saturday we got another event going on. We got the Bantu Fest. That's what it is, the Bantu Festival on Saturday. And Captain Katazar's book release, the 4th book release that he got in his series. You're gonna see that on that Friday too. So if you're really about that scholarship, business, get in contact with him, get them books. He's got the other ones sold online on Amazon. But you can meet and greet with him live right then and there in Chicago on that Friday. I mean, pretty much throughout the entire weekend, but he's releasing the book on that day. Saturday, we got the Bantu Fest, which again is predominantly going to be Judah. You ain't going to see like Africans and Hamites there like that. It's going to be us. It's going to be our people. Sunday is the reason why we're doing this whole thing. The Black and Brown Unity Picnic. Slakia. The Black and Brown Unity Barbecue Cookout Picnic. Like it's the gathering. And you'll never know what this thing is until you're there with us. So, I mean, any questions, comments, concerns that you got, ask ahead of time. Don't come there with no contention and trying to battle a point or something like that. I mean, somebody might entertain you, but you may get canceled, right after or in the middle of, because again, these are going to be private events, licensed and sanctioned. It's our space, and we have the right to refuse service or accommodations to anybody. So don't come there, big headed or arrogant, thinking about trying to prove a point. Save that point. Hold your breath. And I don't know, maybe the next time you get to open a clubhouse room, alleviate your concerns there. That'd probably be the safest bet. But again, we gotta step away from all these holidays. That ain't got nothing to do with us. 4th of July had nothing to do with our independence. That was our oppressors' independence while we were still enslaved. And so that was 1776 when they did the Declaration of Independence, separating themselves from their oppressor, which were other Edomites. So you had Edomites that were separating themselves from other Edomites, just to clarify on the history of it, in case people don't know. Because even if you want to go back and say, well, Esau or Edomites don't exist, and that was just Britons or other Europeans fighting against and protesting against other Britons and Europeans. It's the same thing. It's the same narrative. Same family background. So when we say Edomites, we're not wrong if you want to classify it as Britons or Europeans. We ain't wrong for that. But they've gained a lot of traction off of our destruction and off our demise. They gained a very strong foothold as far as influencing, different nations and this country in itself. You got brothers out there. You got Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian brothers and sisters out there that would quite literally turn a blind eye if they saw something going on with us. If they saw us being violated or abused or exploited, taken advantage of by these devils, because their conformity and their comfort level and what means peace to them and how cushy and nice they might have it at their 95. That ain't gonna lift a finger for us. That's why it's very important to come to the table. That nation that's not desired, Zephaniah 2:1, it's very important for us to gather together.
That's right.
And disregard all the notions given by other nations and their philosophy, what they think is right or wrong, like how they think we should operate, our people, which is something that we give them leeway with, again, with the voting system. Who don't give a shit who your alderman is. Even if it's a brother or a sister that's in that position, they don't have the authority or power to change something like that. Like the problems that we facing, again, Flint, Michigan still ain't got clean water. How many years has it been? They still ain't got clean water. The George Floyd Square Center, brothers, sisters still getting murdered out there, man. Still getting robbed. Still doing drugs, being sold drugs, selling drugs out there. In that neighborhood where everybody's supposed to, band together and put a stop against all these hate crimes and superstition. No, not superstitions. Stereotypes about our people in that neighborhood, and it's still going on. I'm gonna have to look at the numbers about how many people may have gotten shot or OD'd or, lost a finger blown up a firework just in that neighborhood alone. Because you know what happened to somebody. And then a couple blocks over in a different labeled neighborhood, you know what happened to somebody. I know what happened in Green Bay. I know what happened on the Reds. I know what happened in Milwaukee. I know what happened in St. Paul. I know what happened in Minneapolis. I know what happened in St. Louis. I know what happened in Oklahoma City. I know what happened in Kansas City. I know what happened in Gary, Indiana. I know what happened in Detroit.
Right.
Because Proverbs 11:21, because though hand joined in hand, that's how we always started off. And then we want to cry wolf for everybody else, even though they getting their justice. Like, listen, let them die. Let them drink themselves to death. Let them OD. Let them run off a bridge. Like all the other dumb shit that they do, let them skydive and their parachute not open. Let them bungee jump and the string snap. Let them go about their business and let the Lord judge them. But though hand join in hand, and we think that we're making some progress by joining hand with these devils, when they out there throwing up bottles of water at us and spitting on us and trying to knock our signs over and cursing us out and sending death threats to us and our families, but you want to join hand in hand with them. When they're actually trying to, like, they're physically, that's the messed up part too. Y'all want to talk so much and so brazen about how hateful we are and how damaging we are. We ain't putting no death threats out there. We ain't no hate speeches or hate mail going out there. We ain't committed no crimes. Ain't nobody in the hospital because of us unless they cross that line. Exactly. Again, it's a different story. We ain't no Christians, man.
Right.
You want to talk so bad about us when we have literally done nothing but read the Bible.
Right.
Literally, all we've done out there on the street corners is read the Bible.
Right.
And you've had people spit on us, try to knock our signs over,
right,
throwing things at us, threatening our lives. And all we did was read the Bible, and that's our own people. We're not even really talking to our oppressor, where it says, "Happy shall you be." We can dash your little ones against the stone.
Right.
And he who led in captivity must go into captivity.
Right.
We ain't even reading them passages. Well, no, we're reading the passages, but to our people, and our people are the one that respond like that.
Right.
Our oppressors don't even respond like that. Our oppressors end up getting on their knees and kissing our boots.
Right.
And then our people even jump to their aid for that. Tell them, you ain't got to do this, you ain't got to do that. That's your hand joined in hand. You need to let that go, because the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. You need, this is that's just a natural course of things. You need to let this play out. You need to step out of it. You need to step away and remove yourself from the scenario, since you can't control yourself about it. And just let nature take its course. Let these devils bow down to the Most High.
Right.
And let them serve his children. You're going to benefit off of that. Like, I don't see the problem. I don't see the issue necessarily with how that's going to negatively affect us. When in doing so, and everything gets turned over into the hands of Jacob, into the hands of Israel, on earth as it is in heaven, into the Lord's kingdom, that's going to benefit the world, the earth, everybody, all the inhabitants of it. It's going to set things in order. And that 15-year-old boy ain't going to have to get shot in his face on the next 4th of July picnic or parade. And with that, get into the security announcements. We're at the ISUPK. Established in 1969, 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are led by Commanding General Yahan. Go to isupk.com, scroll down to the contacts page, find that school nearest you, and see how you can get involved, how you can contribute. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can get the information right in your backyard. So with that, UPK announcements. All right, select security announcements. Well, the ISUPK started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They'll be saluted only. They here show themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find it in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ishra. 10% of every penny of any 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department and teacher. So now you can go to isupk.com, scroll down to the donate now button, and you can pay your tithes and make donations there. In the notes section, you can just kind of delegate what it's there for. If you have the Zelle app, first name Israelite School, last name UPK, email tithes@isupk.com. If you have the Cash app, get in contact with the school near you. Again, go to isupk.com, and you can find out their contact information for the Cash app. For us, it is all caps, $UPK Minnesota. You can make any donations here, or anywhere else if you choose. But free will offering for priests not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to cover that. Upcoming holy convocation, September 25th at sundown. The memorial of the blowing of the trumpets. Again, contact the school near you. See what accommodations that you might have that need to get met. Whatever you can contribute to, and what the arrangements are, what the plans are going to be, where they're going to gather, or if some people might not have the transportation availability. So just get in contact with them, see how y'all gonna work that out. And we have the Midwest Fire Weekend coming up, July 21st through the 25th. Through the 24th in Chicago. The rooms are damn near all but booked out. I think I think it's pretty well sold up. I'm sure there's floor space, somewhere, or if you have to make accommodations that are farther out, that may be more accessible. But you're gonna want to, if you haven't locked it in, get it locked in now. Get your money together now. Get your traveling arrangements together now, so there's no confusion last minute. So you ain't got to skip over nothing, and you don't have to have any unnecessary, unwarranted problems. Any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. That means your boots, your shirt, your pant, your headband, and or scarf. So with that, Amagim, which means stand. Upon Yakadam, which means turn to face the east. Now that we in this new school, east is pretty much straight ahead of us, right? East is right here. Or is it one of these?
I see the sun right here.
So we're gonna go this way. We're gonna get a compass. We're gonna figure that out definitively. But for us right now in this new school, hey, Most High Christ, hey, get the Most High Christ hand for that. We got a new building, we got a new school up here in Minnesota, so you know it's cracking over. We're gonna face the east, which for us is gonna be in this direction. So the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, you can find in Matthew chapter 6, verses 8 and 13. Abinaw, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Ayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Atazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Barakazak, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathanaw, Lakam, Ko, Yawam, Wasalakanaw, Kabawakanaw, Kasalakanaw, Kabawakinaw, Wala, Taviyanaw, Badasawan, Abal, Awshanaw, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amlakwa, Wa'al, Wa'ata Para, La'ulamim, Aman. In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Amen. Pray to bless Israel and the evil. If you're following us on social media, you can type in the name of a loved one, send the prayers up with you. Like a Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Barak Lanawa, Wayashal, Wabayat, Sapari, Barak, Rapa'ah, Magun, Hagun. At this time, say the name of a loved one once, and we'll repeat the name once. Amangabar, Marakapa, Makabi, Kawanyal, all UPK, all UPK schools, all of Israel, Yahweh, Yahushua, angels, generals, captains, officers, troopers, students, sisters, children, all of Israel. I SUPK Minnesota. All of Israelite School UPK. All Israelite School UPK. All of Israel. Israelite School UPK. Madara. Zekiah. UPK Minnesota. UPK Chicago. UPK Reds. UPK Milwaukee. Benjamin. Jamin. Rockapot. Annalie. Raphael. McIntosh family. Sister Jamie. Sister Yayana. Officer Madara. All of Israel. All UPK. UPK Minnesota. Desiree Davis. Kawan Yala. All of Israel. Bashim Yahushua. Dawad Aman. In English, Lord, in the name of Yahushua. Bless us in Israel. In the school. Bless. Heal. Shield. Protect. A loved one. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Blessed are you, Yahweh. King of heaven and earth. And all things living. Yahweh. Name Yahushua. Listen to us now. Right now. Send evils and curses. Punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us. Thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, Israelite brothers in the school. Send evils and curses. Punishment and destruction to the heathen. Shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel. that refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
Send to thy sanctuary. And leaders and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the Edomites. And the nations. The drug dealers. Court systems. Prison systems. Planned Parenthood. All the governments of our enemies. Amalek synagogues and arms. Amalek synagogues and arms. Roman Catholic Church. The Pope. Islam. Christianity. Egyptology. Militia. Ku Klux Klan. Aryan Nation. Skinheads. Comitatus. Gay men. Lesbian men. Spies. Workers of witchcraft. That's the space program. Army. Navy. Air Force. Marines. Wall Street. Open up the internet and the airways. Give access channels. A radio channel. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction to all the heathens that stand in the way. Try to stop us. Broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahushua, Michael and Gabriel, come down to flying saucers. Punch all the heathens. They come up against us. We speak thy words. Cause it to be known by all. There's the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media. Throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake it that come. Name Yahushua. Take the war with us. So be it. Saw to the front. Men of Israel, Mighty Shabbat, Mighty Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua, Barakatham, Yazamatah, courtesy salute for the sisters, Men of Israel, Mighty Shabbat, Mighty Barak, Yahweh Shabbat, Hashem, Yahushua, Yazamatah, class dismissed.
I'm Captain LeBron, those who like school, you can't be Commander General Yohana, inviting all Black Native Indians out to the 5th annual Fire Weekend.
Shalom Israel, come to the Fire Weekend, man, in Chicago, Midwest Fire Weekend, you know how we get down. July 21st to the 24th, we're gonna be in Chicago.
Under the Midwest Mosque in itself, captain for 13,000
July 21st, we got 12 children of Muhammad with the scripture breakdown class, followed by Captain Tadariyat and Captain Katazal with Cross the Line Radio.
You know what I'm saying? We got the Bantu Festival coming back. We got the election coming. We're going to kick off the election with Captain Ash, Captain Katazal, and Kazak Yad. It's going to be called Before Columbus Came.
On the 24th of July, we're going to be doing the Black and Brown Unity Cookout. Shalom Israel to all my blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. From July 21st through the 24th, we're going to be holding the Midwest Fire Weekend. On July 21st, we hold a scripture breakdown with none other than 12 Shield General Muhammad from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., followed by Cross the Line Radio. On July 22nd, we're going to be having camp on the Magnificent Mile from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And guess what? Commanding General Yohana will be speaking at 3 p.m. We're going to be located at 401 North Michigan Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. After that, we're going to have the Before Columbus Came lecture from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. located on 9909 Roosevelt Road, Suite 100. On July 23rd, you can catch us at the Bantu Festival from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. We're going to be located at 1130 Midway Place Science Park, Chicago, Illinois. And then last but not least, we're going to be having the Black and Brown Unity Cookout from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. located at Douglas Park, 1200 West 12th Place. For more information, call 708-299-5821. Again, 708-299-5821. Also, if you would like to help out and support this troop and brotherhood, go to the Midwest Fire Weekend Black and Brown GoFundMe account and make a generous donation.